Guys, today we're gonna talk about a great niche fragrance brand and it's Atelier Materi. I'm gonna give you my top 3, but I'm also gonna talk about all the fragrances and I'm gonna also unveil the new collection of extract of the brand. Right, this is Clémence, I talk about fragrance, welcome back. Materi. So this is the brand that I know since quite a few years now. I've been wearing some of their fragrance religiously and one is actually in my top rated of all time. Just to let you know, I am not paid to do this video, but I received one of the new extract for free, so this is really nice. I don't have discount code also, so you know. If you're interested to fragrances that are very modern, I always feel that their fragrances are very natural, but they have a beautiful balance of synthetics. So it's not overly natural ingredient and then it's maybe less appealing to people that want their fragrance to project or be a little bit edgy sometimes. The brand is French. The aesthetic is really like minimalist. There's a deep blue vibe in the fragrances and discovery kit like this. This is really the color of the brand because it's supposed to represent, that's what they say, the water after the storm. And this is a brand actually that is originally from where exactly I'm from in France, Brittany. Bretagne, s'il vous plaît. Top is concrete made and it's handmade. It's very heavy, it feels very, very luxurious. I personally love the bottle, I think it's one of my favorites. The founder is Véronique Lebihan. She's from Brittany. If you haven't visited Brittany in France, you should probably go because it's so underrated. It's beautiful, it's wild coast, a little bit Celtic origin if you prefer. People get excited with music festival or bagpipes. It's a very fun area and extremely beautiful. I still have a lot of my friends. I go every 6 months to Brittany, especially the south of Brittany, Van. It's absolutely stunning over there and good temperature as well, just to let you know. But yeah, we should preserve Brittany. Actually, forget about what I said. Don't go to Brittany. Let's preserve it. Don't go. Just don't go. It's ugly. Ooh. We're gonna start by the fragrances that are in the collection that I don't have, I would say, special attachment to them, but I wanted to talk about them just to let you know that it exists. I kind of put them in order of preferences. Bois d'Ambre, that is basically a musky, ambery fragrance. If you don't know what is ambre, you can call it musk mallow as well. Usually it smells a little bit ambery, maybe sometimes resinous. It could be sweet, a little bit animalic and mixed with a pear note. Usually I don't like fragrances that focus on ambre, and this is not for me. Like, to be completely transparent with you, I don't like this one. So it's just the ambre is too present. It's like woody, dry and full on ambre. After just a few minutes, it's very green. There's angelica note, and you know, like when you take a leaf and you crush it in your hands and then you smell, it smells like that to me. It smells a bit clean as well. After like 20 minutes or something on the skin, it smells clean. But no, not for me. But just so you know, it's there. If you like ambre, you might like this. Rose ardoise. I can't say I dislike that. It's a beautiful rose. It's a soft rose with I would say pink pepper, so a little bit fizzy and pepperish, and sage. And sage increases the peppery note of the fragrance and it gives something a bit aromatic and sometimes a little bit green. It's not an overly sweet rose. For me, I would say it's a versatile one for all year long. Maybe for women that want like a signature scent and smell maybe a little bit mature, like not a childish or sweet rose. It feels a bit like a Chanel fragrance to me. Like they usually like to put like rose with pink pepper because he gives it like a freshness rather than the sweet tone. Poivre, so pomelo. On the paper, I thought this one was going to be my favorite. It's not, but I appreciate the fragrances though. If I had it in my collection, I would definitely wear it, just to let you know. I think it's more like a summery, pepperish fragrance. The pomelo gives a bit the grapefruit, super fruity. You know, sometimes pomelo can be bitter. It's not a bitter one, just to let you know. Juicy, but for me, it has a little bit of a masculine appeal to it. So I know it's very unisex and all the brand is very unisex, but me, I smell something a bit masculine. I think it would be very flattering as a summer scent or something like a little bit fresh on a guy. I would find it very sexy, I think. There's a little bit of matte. I don't know if how you say it in English, mate. Maybe not. It smells a little bit like green tea. I think I rate it a little bit lower because for me it's very light, so it's not beast. Huh? If you like the fragrance to be close to you and not be too intoxicating for work or something like this, this is great, but it's very light. At least to me on my skin, that's what I think. Santal Blond. I think I would have smelled that 5 years ago. I would have bought it straight away. It's a sandalwood fragrance, the most classic sandalwood you will ever smell, but done in a very natural and beautiful way. Back in the day, I had an obsession for sandalwood fragrances because they smell dry, very, very dry, just like you've cut the wood, you know, but it has something very powdery and very comforting to eat. And I think it gives a great projection. By the way, this fragrance lasts really beautifully on my skin. It made me think of Stash from SGP, maybe less harsh, more polished and more beautiful. Woody, cardamom, and it has a little bit of a hinoki wood smell, a bit balsamic, or a bit lemony sometimes, like fresh lemony. A versatile fragrance, kind of like a signature scent, you know, a scent that will never let you down, never go out of trends. Iris Ebene, so Iris Ebene, for me, that's, I really like that. The more I smell it, the more I find it addictive actually. A powdery, musky fragrance, pimento, but it's not too much spicy, don't worry. The way the iris is treated, I nearly saw it was a little bit masculine as well. You know, like there's a lot of popular fragrances in the masculine range, like Durham Intense and stuff like this, that smell, that treat the iris the same way. Well, it made me think of that at first sight, to be honest. And what is interesting is that you have a little bit of a leathery touch to it. Like when you smell like a sweet jacket, it smells like this. After work, mysterious, but very serious, you know. Now we arrive in my top 3 fragrances, and these fragrances was very difficult to, well, no, actually it was not difficult. I'm so used to say that. I'm like, no, actually it was like I knew exactly what would be my top 3 before even making this video. The number 3 is Cedre Figalia. Well, they launched that this year. You know, fig fragrance, they always smell the same, you know. So I'm not, you know, like it's green, it's a bit juicy, you know, a wet kind of feeling, you know, it's always the same. Okay, so how gonna make it like maybe different? Well, they had some cedar notes, so dry, sharp wood, a bit lemonish, a bit fresh wood, which is nice, but it's not overdone it. A little bit of green tea smell because you have also matte in the fragrance, and you have hay that feels a little bit like a dry. To me, when I smell it the first time, I nearly smell like a masculine fougère. It's very unisex, and it doesn't really smell like a fougère, but you know, like it's just the woody, dry, maybe a bit vetiver-like kind of smell made me feel of that. And really the main difference, some people say that they don't smell it. Me, is the first thing I smelled in the fragrance, the spinach. So this veggie green note, I smelled it straight away. And it gives a little bit of a saltiness to a fragrance, and I love this. This fig is everything that is a fig: green, fresh, aromatic, a bit juicy, wet. And then you have this spinach note, this veggie note. For me, it makes the whole difference. I find this extremely pleasant to wear. I love it. For summer, spring, or even like you want a daily fresh fragrance, this is beautiful. I think I would love to have it for spring, especially because there's a hint of basil, and that gives the aromatic note. And whenever you put like kind of basil in a fragrance, for me it's like very spontaneous, chic, you know, like you're just wearing a t-shirt, but you look cool, you look chic, you know, for all year long. I like this. It's very understated and very easy, but beautiful. Love My number 2 is Cacao Parcelana. So that's a warm, spicy cacao. So it's not chocolate-like. It doesn't feel sweet to me. Like it's more like the cabosse, you know, of the cacao pod. More woody, more darker. If you smell a cacao pod, it doesn't smell really like chocolate. Huh? No, very realistic, chocolatey fragrance to me. Like if you come here to have a gourmand, this is not for you at all. This is more serious, character, a bit bossy, comfy as well. Bit of rum in there, but it doesn't really scream boozy to me. Like it's really like just a hint. I smell a lot of Cacao like fragrance is really on trend, and it's mostly sweet fragrances. This is like more how it should be naturally. It lasts amazingly on the skin, I have to say. Oh, I can't tell you the number of hours. I always think that this is a bit ridiculous, like, oh, it lasts for how many hours? I don't know. Once I wear it, I would say 6 to 9 hours, which is absolutely amazing for me. It does me the day, so I don't need more. Why would you need 48 hours anyway? You're not taking showers? Oh, sorry. And my number one is Narcisse Taiji, one of my favorite floral fragrances since a while now. I love this, and I love how this fragrance feels unisex, and it's a floral. My boyfriend wears more than me that fragrance, just to let you know, so don't be scared. I actually find it extremely sexy on him. I love floral scent on men. I don't know why men don't wear more floral scent. I think, you know, when you don't have to prove your masculinity and you're bold enough to go outside of the stereotypes. Oh my God, I love it. I find it extremely sexy. Anyway, that fragrance is green, but also yellow floral, and it feels warm on the skin. The yellow floral gives something like very solar to it, like intoxicating. This is a great fragrance. This is for me the strongest of the group. It's definitely like so long lasting, project amazingly, but in a very sophisticated way because it's green. Narcisse is my favorite flower. It's a flower that is extremely complex with so many facets, and it smells narcotic, bewitching. You know, like for fall Halloween, when you want to look like mysterious, you know, like this kind of feel. This is perfect. This is the perfect flower for it. But you got to know that it's gonna be green. Narcissus got a facet that is honeyed, and actually in that fragrance I really felt that it's really honeyed. When it dries down, you have more the hay, nearly vetiver, like, you know, dry kind of herbal smell that really sits on the skin, and that's why I think it's very unisex as well. So one of my favorite of all time. Love this. And the fragrance have been done, by the way, by Marie Unger Tobler, and she created most of the collection of Atelier Materi, if you were thinking to ask about the perfumer. Clearly the top one. Clearly the top one of the brand, and I think a lot of people could agree on that. Is smaller packaging like this. Prices are heightened, of course, because it's extrait de parfum. Extrait de parfum. So definitely what you can expect is something more deeper, more richer, maybe not for every day, that feels very intense, nearly oily, like, you know, it got that layer, that strength. They launch 3 new ones. I'm gonna classify them by my least favorite to my favorites. I love ambery fragrance, you know, this is my thing, ambery fragrance. So I was like, I'm gonna love Ambre Papier. And surprise, that is not my favorite. I'm gonna have to say this is a beautiful collection. I'm not saying that because I received one or whatever, but I really enjoy this extract. I think they're really beautifully done, and I think it's great that they did new fragrances rather than extract of fragrance that we already know, because I saw that in so many brands nowadays, and I'm happy that we have some new fragrance that are extract. Ambre Papier is a warm, spicy amber, black pepper, saffron, myrrh, benzoin. So you can expect a little bit of a tea note in the background with mate, but mainly what you smell is saffron. It doesn't really feel resinous to me. As soon as I smelled that, I smelled this. Cristal Saffron from Matières Premières and Santal Carmin from Atelier Cologne. It's like these two are the baby. I can smell more something that is pleasing, more natural, more refined, more detailed, and I like the softness, soothing touch of the matte in there. So it's a very beautiful one, but I have an aversion, I'm sorry to say, of saffron at the moment. I cannot have saffron in my life anymore at the moment. And bear in mind, that was one of my favorite ingredients of all time. I used to love saffron, but now when I smell just direct saffron, I have a problem with it. I cannot wear crystal saffron anymore. My boyfriend still wear it a lot, but I cannot wear it anymore, and God knows how much I love that fragrance. As soon as it was launched, I was like, this is for me. I love it. I wore it religiously so much during a year, probably full on. And I was layering that with everything. And basically, I had the great idea to get myself, what did I get? The body lotion from Crystal Saffron and the hand wash. Oh my God. You wash your hand with this, it smells even stronger than the fragrance, I swear. And for hours. And I think it came to my brain. And now it's just like, I cannot do it anymore. I cannot even use the wash anymore. If you like that, you're gonna love this, just to let you know. But for me, it's impossible. So as soon as I smelled that, I was like, oh no. That's so it's very beautiful, but it's not for me anymore. I think this one is really stunning for a oud. I would say it's kind of classic because it smells a bit like a cold oud, Middle Eastern cold oud. I added a little bit of geranium that gives a minty cold scent rather than warm. You know, like if you tried oud before, there's, you know, the very spicy animalic oud, and there's the cold one. Example, Kayali, the rose oud that they did. That's a cool oud. It's a very pleasing one. It's not overly animalic. It smells dry, but the main note in here is actually, it smells more leathery. It's a leathery type of oud to me. The main note is blackcurrant. It's a syrupy oud. It's very present during the first hour or two of wearing, and after really you have really the dry, woody leather note that is prominent, just to let you know. But I find it really sexy. It's not gonna surprise you if you smell a lot of oud, but for me, for people that are not too fan of oud, that don't like the animalic overpowering one, you're gonna love this. The syrupy is everything. Really good fragrance. I love that. And my number one is Neroli Hasbaya. I've been wearing this since a week, so I didn't want to put it in the top 3 because I was like, this is pretty new, so I need to wear it more. I like to take my time with fragrances anyway. But just to let you know, for me right now, I would put it same level of Narcisse Taiji. Same level. I smelled that, I was like, this is one of my fragrances of this year. You're gonna see that coming back for sure. Neroli, orange, white floral, a bit orange blossom like smell, you know. Sometimes it smells a bit baby powder, but it's not overly powdery. It's a bit powdery, but it's not overly done, you know. And then pistachio, almondish note, so yummy. And you know, we smelled so many pistachio fragrance last year, nothing compared to this. Nothing compared to this. Sandalwood musky note, so increasing the baby powder smell to my nose. It's solar. This is the best. I'm so happy with that fragrance. As soon as I smelled it, I was like, I am gonna wear that so much. It lasts beautifully, by the way. It doesn't move at all during the day. Like I wore it during the day, it lasted beautifully on me. And usually Neroli fragrance, they don't really last because they're supposed to be like fresh, orangey, like, you know. Not at all for this one. The pistachio, the woody note, and it feels so dense. You smell it, it's nearly like butter. It's nearly like oily, you know. That is an extract. This is what I want to smell, you know, like the depth of that fragrance. It's so beautiful. When it's sunny, but it's cold, you know, because the orange blossom is so solar, but the pistachio and the warm woody notes, it's very enveloping. So I want to wear that in those times, you know. I fell in love. My gosh, if you have to try one in this collection, you have to try this one. This is, I'm so pleased to have it in my collection. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Type the word Bretagne in the comments. That's amazing, right? And tell me if you tried the brand before and what fragrance is calling you the most. In that line, I want to see your favorite. I wish you a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Bleu.